To know if I'm the only one who has noticed this. When I was a kid in the 90s, I was born in 1985, raised on Capri Suns and secondhand smoke. 50-year-olds looked elderly, like full-on elderly, just beige windbreakers, sensible haircuts, smelled faintly of mothballs and Marlboros. And now 50-year-olds, they look like they meal prep, use retinol, and could outrun me on a treadmill. What is up with that? What happened? Did people age faster in the 80s? Or are we just confused millennials having a collective identity crisis? Let's talk about it. The Golden Girls effect. First of all, the women on the Golden Girls were supposed to be elderly. Elderly. Do you know how old some of them actually were? Early 50s. Yeah, early 50s. The Golden Girls, they were in their early 50s. Sorry, I'm yelling into the microphone. If you put them next to someone like Jennifer Lopez, who is in her 50s right now, it looks like two completely different life stages. And it's not just celebrities. Look at yearbooks from the 70s and the 80s. Look at your parents' wedding photos. Why did everyone look 12 years older than their actual age? Smoking. It was the smoking. I say this with love. But the 70s and 80s were basically a nicotine documentary. People smoked at work, in restaurants, in cars, probably in the delivery room. They did smoke in the hospital. I remember. Smoking absolutely accelerates skin aging. It breaks down collagen, causes wrinkles, dullness, all of it. And smoking rates in the 1980s were way higher than today. But now, smoking is way down. Vaping happened, yes, but cigarettes culture is nowhere near what it was. Thank God for that. And in something else, sun damage. Yup. Tanning used to be a personality trait. There was no SPF 50 every day. There was no baby oil, aluminum reflectors laying out for hours. Do you guys remember doing that? Now, millennials and Gen X, us, are slathered in sunscreen, like we're marinating for safety, because we are. Dermatologists preach sunscreen daily. Retinol is normal. Skincare is a lifestyle. Our moms weren't using preventative Botox at 32. We are. I'm not. And I'm not 32. I'm 40. But let's just say it. Fitness culture. The fitness culture shift. In 1985, exercise was like jogging and maybe some jazzercise. But now we have strength training for women, protein awareness, step counters, smartwatches, cold plunges, supplements for our supplements. Fitness isn't a phase anymore. It's a personality. And consistent exercise keeps muscle tone, posture, skin circulation. All of that affects how young someone appears. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, though. Let's not pretend this doesn't exist. Botox, fillers, lasers, hormone therapy. These procedures are more accessible, more normalized, and less dramatic than they were in the 80s and 90s. It's not always obvious. Sometimes it's subtle maintenance. So yes, part of why 50 looks different now is because anti-aging science leveled up. But here's the twist. Some of this might be psychological. We associate certain hairstyles, glasses, and clothing with old. Big permed hair, old. High-waisted polyester pants, old. Brown everything, emotionally old. If someone today dressed exactly like 1987, we'd immediately think they were older. So when we look back at photos from back then, our brain reads old because the style signals it, not necessarily because the person biologically aged faster. We can't leave out stress, though. Our parents' generation had more physically demanding jobs, less ergonomic awareness, more environmental exposure, and less emphasis on self-care. And culturally, turning 50 used to mean leaning into it, leaning into getting old. You're over the hill, right? Now we have 50-year-olds starring in action movies like Top Gun Maverick. looking like freaking superheroes. But meanwhile, I pull a muscle just sleeping wrong. I got out of the car the other day and I pulled a muscle. So are we actually aging slower? Research does show improvements in midlife health markers, lower smoking rates, obviously, better heart health treatments, better preventative care. So in some ways, yes, but it's also style, skincare, fitness, cosmetic technology and procedures, and cultural expectations. Basically, we optimized aging. So, is this just the millennial identity crisis? This is what I think is really happening. When we were kids, 50 seemed ancient because our teachers were 50, our parents were 50, authority figures were 50. Everyone was 50. Remember? Now we're staring at 40 like, excuse me? I just learned how to use Excel. And I'm supposed to be 50 soon? 50 doesn't feel old because we don't feel old. And maybe that's the biggest shift of all. So tell me, do you think people actually aged faster in the 80s? Or are we just seeing better lighting, better skincare, and better vibes, and better filters? And if you're 50 watching this, respectfully drop your skincare routine below because clearly you're doing something right. I'll be over here stretching before bed like it's an Olympic sport every day. I do yoga and every day. If it's not yoga, I stretch every day. We have to take care of ourselves, and I truly, truly, truly believe that because we have put more of an emphasis on skincare, not just skincare, but self-care. We've put a big emphasis on self-care, mental health care, because if you're mentally healthy, it does affect the way you look on the outside too. Because it all goes together, guys. And I really do believe that we just got better about taking care of ourselves. We learned that smoking was bad. We learned that tanning beds were bad. We learned that sun exposure is okay in moderation, but we should be wearing some kind of SPF because those UV rays are breaking through the barriers that we busted, okay? So we've just learned to take care of ourselves, and that's the biggest reason why. Because back then there were still fillers and Botox then too, although it wasn't as talked about as it is now. But in the 90s, absolutely, people were doing Botox and fillers. So I don't think it's just that, because I've never used Botox and I don't look 40, and I'm not saying that to be like, oh, I don't look 40. I'm just saying I don't. My mom doesn't look her age either. And I think it's just because we've taken care of ourselves. My mom quit smoking years ago. And I mean, she'll have one every once in a while, but my mother-in-law, she looks young because she's taking care of herself, her body, and they watch what they eat. And I don't think that was what they were doing in the 80s. I don't know. I was only born in 85. So I wanted to talk about that and just let you guys know that you're doing a great job at everything, at life. And I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. And like I said earlier, if you are 50, or if you're any age, whatever age you are, drop your skincare routine in the comments. I will tell you mine. I'll put it in the comments, and let's see. Let's compare, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and take care of yourself. Take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.